Position this back on here. Turn it over, fit it in there. Foam still right where it should be. Always check your foam, make sure it's right where it should be. Stuff my batting in here. Okay. Alright, now I've got positioned like I want it. Now that we know that's where she needs to be, I'm going to lift this back up again. I shouldn't push her to the edge. I'm going to lift that back up. There's my piece of fabric, a little lip that we created. I'm going to make sure the piping right along that edge, right along this edge too. So, see what we're going to do? We're going to staple it right down there like that. And the more pressure you put on this, the more to pull your seam down. You don't want tons, you just want it to basically create an edge like this. See how that looks nice like that? If I go any tighter, then what it does is sink it down. So I just want it pulled down into the foam a little bit to create a nice shape. So I'm going to hook up my stapler and do that now. Okay, I'm going to use the dual fast stapler. A little bit of pressure here and staple. Make sure the pressure is about even going across the whole thing. Let me put something on the top there so you can see. Here's the tape measure. I'll keep it coming back. These are stainless steel staples and they'll hold nice and tight. There's no reason to go overboard. That is how we do that. Now we take our foam that we had here, put it in position again, and we roll this back over again. Go. Take a look. See how that pulls it down into that? And it'll be even better when we get all this slack out of here, but it pulls it down nicely so you get a great shape out of your cushion. Now we just simply pull the excess fabric out and staple it in position. I'm not going to staple a ton of staples in here. I'm going to make sure that I get some good tension on it first before I staple it down permanently. So I'm going to start here, give her a good yank, and just put a staple. Give her one good yank here, staple. And here, pulling tight, staple. And I'm only going to put 3 in there just to make sure everything looks good. Then I'm going to do it over here at this side. Pull her tight, right in the middle. So I get good tension on it. Nice tight cushion. Staple. Sides. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. Don't just keep stapling, just make sure you like what you see. Look at that. Boy, that looks good. Now we pull it from the side, and it's going to be super. Man, having good equipment is nice. You could do this with a regular staple, but it will be a little bit more cumbersome. This stapler Sailrite sells, and it is definitely worth the money. I'm going to pull her tight here in the middle. Pull her tight here on the sides. And the side here. Nice and taut. Oops, got my stapler under my arm. There we go. Okay, 3 is good there. That looks pretty good. We'll also put one here, but I'm going to do that for the last step just to make sure I like the shape there. Let's start in the center. Nice and taut. Now we got 3 on all sides, nice and tight. Turn her over. Make sure you like what you see before you staple it down all the way. It's a nightmare to get it unstapled again, especially with a good stapler like that. Take a look at your sides. Look at that. No bubbles, no nothing in it. It's going to look excellent. I'm going to pull basically these longer edges here. And one over here. Now for the corners, what you can do is you can actually just kind of position it and staple it down. What I'm actually going to do, you can cut this off if you want to and actually just staple down the excess because nobody really looks at the bottom. But I'm actually going to roll it around here, and it won't be perfect, but hey, that looks pretty stinking good. And nobody's really going to see it. I'm going to put it pretty taut, and since I've got this great stapler, I'm going to be able to staple right through this assembly because this is like just nothing for this stapler after I get it right where I want it. Yeah, that looks good right there. I'm going to put a staple right into the piping and into the Naugahyde, and I'm going to put a few here, making sure I'm going into my board still, and I am. But boy, that's a great looking corner. And then I'm going to pull a little bit taut up here like I was doing with a few staplers here. And that's going to be our corner. So we're going to do that to here. For over here, let's think about this one. What you want to do is just basically position it until you like it. So what do I like? Do I like it like that? Do I like it like that? Do I like to cover it off? No rule on this. This is the underside. Nobody's really going to see it, but we're going to do the same principle here. And pull it taut. Put a stapler in there. And just staple everything down. Yep, still got good tight. Okay, we're going to do that to the other 2 corners and we will be done. And then we'll show you. Oh, we also want to put some staples in between here. Don't just leave a few staples in here. Put them a few inches apart. Pull them tight as you go. Okay? It's not like these staples are going to pull out easily. They will not. And we'll do that to all the sides. Okay, we've got her all done. If we want to trim off this excess, you can. Or you can just leave it since it's the bottom. You can see here that this is a little bit too close to the edge, and I'm just going to chop that off. I don't want that to show up. And here's what she looks like. Pretty nice looking.
You'll notice here at the corners there's a little bit of a wrinkle. That could be because we pulled the boxing a little bit too tight on the sides, or it just needs a little bit of batting here to take those out. But that's not uncommon for a cushion. I am Eric Grant with Say It Right. Thanks for watching.